Hi everyone, I've just released a short EV video demo showing off some of the stuff you can do with the engine. In it, I make heavy use of the Nebula volume setup I showed you in the previous tutorial. If you haven't seen the demo yet, then I'll leave a link in the description so you can go and have a look. There are resources available for you to download that accompany this video, a paid package and a free one. The free one will give you basic demonstration files showing you how to do things like spherical nebulas, whereas the paid package will give you all of the blend files used to make the EV demo so you can dissect them and see how it was done. After the previous Nebula tutorial went up, I got a few people asking me about whether it was possible to have an object volume in EV be any other shape than a cube, because it would be cool to sculpt nebula shapes in real time and use other primitives to do things like spherical nebulas. As it stands at the moment, it's not possible to have an object volume conform to the mesh in EV, however it is possible to do it in cycles. The current limitations of EV, however, are likely to change in the future as more improvements are made to the engine, so there will probably come a point where the information in this video is no longer true. With that in mind, there are a few tricks you can currently do in EV to change the shape of an object volume, and the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed a particular spherical nebula inside of the demonstration video. To give credit where it's due, the solution to creating spherical object volumes was posted by Raphael FCDK on a Blender artists thread. To put it simply, it involves dividing position vector data by a diameter and using a dot product operation to reproduce a spherical shape. What you can see on screen is a graph of this. To get the nebula looking like this, I have used two different spherical volume objects, one for the inner glow and one for the outer turbulence. However, to save you the trouble, you can download this file in the free resources and experiment with it for yourself. Also included in the free resources is a blend file created for one of the demo scenes. I've put this in there as a sample so you can take a look at the render settings I've used and see how everything was pieced together. Remember that the original blend files for each of the 11 scenes in the demo are available in the paid package if you want to get a copy of them. I want to take a step back now and say thank you to the generous community members who offered me with donations for the free resources provided in the previous Nebula tutorial. You are very generous and your contributions are highly appreciated. Moving on from this, let's take a look at some of the comments from the last tutorial. Would Become Rocker says, "Thanks for the tutorial. Is there any way to have the nebula sharper? My render looks quite blurry even with 512 res and no focus point. Or is it because of the node setup?" Well, that's a good question, and the answer is it depends both on your node setup and the render settings. For example, the lower the tile size in your volumetric settings, the higher the resolution of the volume, and consequently the more detail you will see. However, seeing sharp contours around your nebula relies on them being mathematically described in the node graph. I recommend tightening up the positions of the handles and experimenting with different brightness values until you start seeing more of a result that you like. Al says, "This is great, maybe in the future show how to animate twinkling areas or sheen." Yeah, I could do, I'll make a note of that. If you want twinkling, the easiest thing you can do is make some light sources and animate the energy values, since with volumetric lighting enabled, the nebulas will react to any light sources in the scene. Oscar Chabran says, "Blender is such an amazing package. I kind of almost wish it wasn't free so it would get a constant stream of cash and it would mop the floor with all other 3D app competitors." And then Jask comes in saying, "Well, that's what the Blender Cloud is for." And that's true. Remember, you can go to fund.blender.org to donate to the Dev Fund. Blender has managed to do so much with limited resources, although I believe it's exactly this unique situation that has allowed Blender to thrive. Corporate products with large investments have priorities and agendas that don't necessarily line up with the community desires at large. They also typically have slower update cycles. On the contrary, Blender is fluid. It can be pulled in every direction by contributing developers, and it collectively stands on the shoulders of the entire community. Everyone can make it their own. It's because of this that even if the Blender Foundation and Institute disappeared, the development of Blender would still carry on by the will of dedicated developers around the world. The same cannot be said for other proprietary software. So that will wrap it up for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and ring that bell. You can follow me on social media to stay up to date on videos, and if you're interested, you can join our Discord server to take part in discussions, get sneak previews on upcoming content, and share your work. Links for everything can be found in the description. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.